Hello, I'm Sifu Lamar Davis II, Executive Director of the United States Jeet Kune Do Alliance and instructor of Junfan Gung Fu and Jeet Kune Do Chinese kickboxing, the fighting methods created and advocated by the late Bruce Lee. Welcome to Volume 16, Mook Jong Training. In this tape, we will show you about the Mook Jong or Wing Chun dummy, the spring-loaded Mook Jong, what we call the spring arm dummy, and what we call the slip and hit dummy. We'll cover some of the basic techniques, the basic fighting methods that we can train on these particular pieces of equipment. And I think after seeing this instructional video, I think you'll want to acquire some of this equipment so that you can add it to your daily training regimen. We're going to start off with just the basic Mook Jong. This is the Mook Jong. Notice it has a leg. This represents the lead leg of the opponent. Okay? You have two upper arms, which are slightly mobile, as you can see. You have a lower arm, which is slightly mobile also. Okay, then you have the trunk, or the body of the dummy. Okay, now, what these arms represent, this represents the arms of the opponent on the high line. So in other words, this could be the right arm striking, this could be the left arm striking, or defending. This could be a low line blocking or parrying motion, or a low line strike coming in to your body. Okay? The leg, once again, represents the lead leg of the opponent. Okay, one of the first things that I want to show you on the Mook Jong are what we call conditioning drills. These are some of the various drills that you can do on your Mook Jong to condition the various defensive tools of the upper body. The first thing that I'm going to show you is called the Bong conditioning drill. Okay, you can work this on the upper arms or you can work this on the lower arm. The Bong is what we call the wing arm deflection. Okay, so the arm position is here, like so. Okay, now this is what we call the cutting angle. Okay, this particular angle here is what cuts in and deflects an incoming punch off to the side. So the Bong comes in like so. It's very important, if you're looking at this from the side, that the elbow be higher than the wrist and the elbow slightly higher than the shoulder. Always greater than 90 degrees bend in the arm. Never less than 90, because then you will collapse under pressure. Okay, so to condition the cutting edge on the Bong we can use the upper arms or we can use the lower arm of the dummy. Now, when you're doing these drills, you have to be very careful, because your dummy is something that you want to last you a long time. You want to take good care of it and see to it that it's around for a while. The arms of a Mook Jong are quite expensive to replace, so you don't want to be constantly breaking arms. So that's one thing that you want to take into consideration when you're working these conditioning drills, is that they are for conditioning, but you don't have to see how hard you can go. Okay? All right. First, we're going to work on conditioning this Bong. Okay? So I'm going to stand square to the dummy. And I'm just going to torque at the waist and bring my arm into the upper arm of the dummy. Okay, that's working my right arm. Then I can work my left arm. Or I can alternate. Notice the snap as I spin my hand and torque the wrist sharply. Okay, I can bend my knees more. I can bring this in lower, working both the right and the left arm. Okay, when we come back, I'll show you what we refer to as the pak sao, or slapping hand conditioning drill. In this sequence, we're going to show you how to condition the pak sao on the dummy arms. Okay, pak sao means slapping hand. It's a trapping move and also a defensive parry movement. Okay, so I can come here, I can come here, I can come here, I can come here, here, and here. So I can parry down here. This is a low line pak sao. I can parry here. This is an outside pak sao, outside low pak sao. So now I can parry here, or here, okay, and then here, here, and here. Those are some of the movements that you can do to condition the pak sao. All right, the next one that we're going to show you is the Goang sao, or downward circling outer wrist block or parry. So, we're going to just cut down onto the lower dummy arm. Cut right down onto the arm. Like so. Okay, the next movement that I'm going to show you is what we term a Fook sao, which is here. Okay, Fook sao is a bent wrist, elbow in position. It's used to deflect strikes inward, or it can be used to deflect strikes outward. So you can go inward or outward with the Fook sao. Okay, we try it here, like so. We want to go extremely low with it. We bend the knees. Okay. Primarily, what you're looking at is here, or here, here, or here. Okay. Now we get into going from Fook sao to Kune sao, or circling wrist. Fook sao to Kune sao, Fook sao to Kune sao, Fook sao to Kune sao, like that. That's another one of the movements that you can do. Okay, then we're going to show you a mixed drill. It's where you work a movement called Kwun sao and a movement called Gaun sao. Kwun sao is rotating arms. It's here. Okay, that's Kwun sao. Gaun sao is a splitting parry, and it's here. Okay, now both of these can also be performed to the other side. Okay, now we have a drill that's done to a 6 count that's designed to train these movements. Okay, so first you're going to do a Kwun sao, then a Gaun sao. Then you step facing the center line of the dummy. You do a Gaun sao, then you step again facing on an oblique angle and do another Gaun sao and then a Kwun sao. Okay, so if I start from this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, that conditions the double arm parries or blocks. Okay? So once again, you have Kwun sao, which is rolling arms, which is here or here. Okay? Then you have Gaun sao, which is the splitting arm block or parry, which is here. Okay? So, train these on the dummy. Kwun sao or rolling arms, Gaun sao or splitting block. Okay? So that's another one of the drills that we can do on the dummy. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is man sao drills. Man sao is the asking hand or the inquisitive hand. Sometimes during the course of combat, you simply just shoot a hand out there to see what happens, just to see what your opponent's response is. A lot of times, you will try to force the opponent to do a certain thing. Like if I come in here, I would be thinking that he would be going to go here, or if he were in the right lead, here or here, okay? So, if I come in and just shoot this in there, I'm hoping that I'll get some kind of response, okay? So once again, against a live opponent, if I were moving in and I just shot this out, I'm hoping for some kind of response. Okay, my assistant, Forrest Wade, is going to join me at this point, and I'm going to show you what I mean by the asking hand. Okay, first of all, Forrest is going to assume a right lead position. Okay, back up just a little bit. Okay, now he's going to assume a right lead position. All right, now I'm going to step in and I'm going to put this out here, this man sao or asking hand. And what I'm hoping for is that he's going to give me some type of defensive action to stop this from coming in. Okay, so that's where the man sao or asking hand comes in. Okay, now I could also bring this in low, like so, as I come in, hoping that he's going to try to defend, thinking that I'm going to strike him in the groin, which if he didn't defend, I would. Okay, now there's another possibility for the high line. If I come in here, what if, instead of answering with the lead hand, what if he answers with the rear hand? That's another possibility. Okay, so that's something else that I have to be aware of, something else that I have to train to deal with. Okay, so another way I could put the asking hand in, I could bring it in on a curve this way. All right, now he may answer with the rear hand, or he may answer with the lead hand, like so. Okay, so that's another type of asking hand, and that's another thing that I have to be prepared for. Okay, now you might be saying at this point, well, what does this asking hand do? Okay, this asking hand gives me a stem that I can use for trapping, okay? Trapping hands. All right, now if I bring it in low and he blocks down, see I've got here. If I come in on a curve and he blocks across with the, or if he blocks with the rear hand, see I've got that. Or if he blocks across with the lead hand, see I've got that, okay? And once again, if I bring it in here and he parries with the lead, I've got this, or I've got this. Okay, now if he parries with the rear hand, I've got this, or I've got this, okay? So those are some of the possibilities that we could be dealing with when we bring this man sao or asking hand in. All right, so when I come in here and Forrest answers with the lead hand, on the dummy, that would be here, okay, or here, all right? When I come in here and Forrest answers with either the lead or the rear hand, that could be here. All right, on the dummy, it would be here. Okay? Now, if I attack low, and he answers by blocking down on it, like so, on the dummy, that could be here. Like so. So, these asking hand positions, you can fire them into the dummy just like you can a live opponent. Okay? The next thing that we want to take into consideration is what we term leg checking or the foot obstruct. Alright? The leg of the dummy represents the lead leg of the opponent. So what I'm going to do here, when I come in, I'm going to bring my leg up against what would be the knee or the shin of this leg, and I'm going to get that contact. that lets me know where his knee or where his leg is at all times. And if he tries to do anything, I've got something on it to check it. I've got a sensor there to let me know what's going on down there. Okay, another thing that I can use that leg for is what we call a foot obstruct. Where as I start to enter, as I start to come in, I just bring one of my feet. It could be the rear foot, it could be the lead foot. I just bring something up there to contact their lead leg to stop them from being able to do anything while I'm coming in. So I just stop and then I go on in and I react to just whatever I get. Okay, so that's the leg check and the foot obstruct. All right, when we come back, I'm going to show you some of the trapping drills that we use the Mook Jong for and the practical applications on an opponent. In this sequence, we're going to show you some of the trapping drills that we train on the Mook Jong and how they apply on a live opponent. Okay, we're going to start out with some very simple things and go from there. Okay, the first one that I want to show you is from a high line engagement here. Okay, I'm going to pop sow and punch straight in. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, I pock and hit. Okay, so I'm here. I pock and hit. Okay, that's using this arm, striking to the inside of the left arm. Okay, now I'm going to go to the right arm. Okay. Now I'm going to strike to the outside of the right arm. Now when I say right and left, I'm looking at the dummy as if it were opponent and as if they were facing me, which would mean this side would be the right, this side would be the left. So don't confuse that with what is my right and left. Treat this as if it were opponent. This is the left side, this is the right side. Okay? All right, now I can engage here and go here. Okay, so now my engagement position is like so. I pock and punch here. Okay, so I'm inside. I'm outside. Okay, so that's the basic high line pock sow movement. Now, Forrest will join me, and I'll show you how this pock sow applies on a live opponent. Okay, once again, from the high line outer wrist engagement, I pock and I punch through. Okay, notice the leg check. Notice when I move in, I check his leg with my lead leg. That way I know right where he is. So from here, right here. Notice I punch past, working the penetration of the punch, also assisting in the safety of my partner. Okay, now, so we're here, and we're here. Okay? All right, that's the basic pock sow movement done on the high line as demonstrated on the dummy. Okay, now we're going to go to the low line. Okay, now we're going to have a low line engagement, pock sow, and a back fist. So, low, pock sow, and the back fist comes in. Low, pock sow, and the back fist comes in. All right, I could bring the back fist up between the two upper arms. If I really wanted to work the economy and the tightness of that back fist, I could bring it right up through the two upper arms, which would be right here. Okay? Low line engagement, pock, right up through the upper arms. Okay? Now, if I want to keep the back fist low, to train the tightness, the economy of the actual movement itself. In other words, everything takes place in this little area right here. Okay? I can do that too. So the best thing to do is to work both ways and get the full effect. All right, Forrest will join me now, and I'll show you how that low line pock sow would work against a live opponent. Okay, we're going to engage low line, outer wrist engagement. Okay? I'm going to do that pock sow, I'm going to fire a Quacho or a back fist. Now, a good training aid in this drill is to have your partner hold their hand up here so that you can kind of use their hand as a target. You just be careful and not to whip the big knuckle of your hand into the center of their palm, because you can rupture blood vessels in the palm. Okay, make sure that you hit nice and flat like so. Okay, may sting their palm a little bit, but it doesn't rupture any blood vessels. Okay, so let them give you a target. Okay, engage low, pox out, and fire the back fist. Like so. Okay? Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is low line pox out to high line pox out. So this is a double pox out, low line to high line. So what we're doing is here to here. Engage low, pox out, fire your back fist, it's blocked. Pox out again and straight punch through. So, engage, pox out, roll to high, pox out, hit. Okay, so you have an obstruction, you pox out, you roll, you have another obstruction, you pox out, and you straight punch in. Okay, like so. Okay, Forrest will join me now, and I'll show you what that would look like on an opponent. Okay, if I'm here, and I go here, and he gives me just a very tight center line defensive energy, nothing wasted. In other words, he doesn't go across the center line. He's very tight center line on his energy. So we go from here to here to here. Okay? All right? From here to here to here. Okay? So we have. Okay? Okay, see it from the other side. Okay, start low to here to here. Okay? So we have pox out 1, pox out 2. Okay? Just like that. Alright. Now, the next thing that we're going to consider is, what if, instead of maintaining the center line with his defensive energy, what if he crosses the center? So in other words, when I come in and I pop this arm down and I fire that back fist, he comes over here instead of just stopping here. Okay, now, on the dummy, what we're going to do is go from here to here to here, okay? All right, now what I'm doing, I engage, I pox out, I fire the Quacho or back fist. This is going to represent that hand that came across the center line. I cross grab, and I fire my back fist. So we have here, 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 okay? Now this is very tight. You may want to come here. Train them both. Okay? Either way is fine. Just train them both. Fit them in. Make them work. Okay? So, here, pock, back fist, lop, back fist. Now this is a Linlop Sao, or cross-grabbing hand. Okay? Here, pock, Quacho or back fist, Linlop Sao, back fist. Okay? Okay, Forrest will join me now, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, remember now, this time, his defensive energy, instead of being tight and close, he's going to cross the center line. So he's going to waste the motion this time. Okay, so we start low. I fire the pox out, he defends, I do the Linlop Sao and hit with a back fist. Okay? Okay, short to you from the other side. I fire low, he blocks. I pox out, he crosses the center line. I Linlop Sao and fire the back fist. Okay, just like that. That's how that one works. All right. Now, I can engage this arm over here like so, and work the Linlop Sao movement with a back fist. Okay, so I start here. Okay, I bring that Linlop Sao or cross grab in, and I hinge over the top with the back fist. So we're here, we're here. Okay, with an opponent, would look like this. He's going to be in the left lead. Okay, our engagement position is here. All right, so this would be like I had thrown a punch and he parried it inward. Okay, so we're here. Okay, I just execute the cross grab. Okay. I just execute the cross grab and hit with a back fist. Okay, so we're here, cross grab, back fist. So I punch, he parries across, cross grab, hit with a back fist. Okay, just like that. Okay, so on the dummy, I'm here, I cross grab, I hit with a back fist. Okay, it's amazing all the things that you can do with these dummies. All right, now I'm going to take a high line engagement position here, and all at once I'm just going to torque my body, torque my wrist. I'm going to grab, and I'm going to straight punch. Okay. This is a lops out, a grabbing hand. So from here, okay, torque my body, I lop, and I straight punch. Now, when I do this, I try to bridge off of this arm, okay? So I train my bridging skill at the same time. Bridging is where you slide along the opponent's limb, deflecting it off the center, enabling you to take the center line. So this is a chance to work that inside bridge. I call it an inside bridge because I'm using the inside of my arm to perform the bridging move, okay? Now I could also work this same move from here, okay? See, from here, like that, okay? Or I could even turn a left lead and work it here. See, it's the same thing. Okay, so from here, real quick, torque of the wrist, grab, pull it. That's your lops out, your grabbing hand, and straight punch, bridging off the other arm. Okay, like so. All right, on an opponent. Okay, we get the high line engagement here. Okay. Okay, I lock and I fire the punch. Now, where the bridging action comes in on the dummy, where it comes in on an opponent is right here, this arm. Okay, so I lock and I bridge as I punch. That helps me control his elbow so he can't do what we refer to as a collapsing elbow and smash me in the ribs. Okay, so in other words, if I get ready to do this and if he either slips or ducks under the punch and comes into me with that elbow, see, I'm in trouble. So what I want to do is bridge so that can't happen. See now, see, he's right there and I'm coming in here already with another strike. Okay, so from here, right there. All right, seen from the other side, we're here, we've got that high line outer wrist engagement, right there. Right there, just lop and hit. Okay? So, lop and hit, all right? Just lop and hit. All right. Now, several other things that we can go with here. All right, I can come in here, like so, trap and back fist, okay? Now, I can go here and go to here. All right, now this would be like my opponent were in the left lead. And when I fired the low punch, he brought his hand in and parried. I trapped and hit with that back fist. Okay. Now, Forrest is going to join me. We'll show you what this looks like. Okay. Now, we're here, and we're here. Okay? So I punch low. He blocks down on it. I just cross grab and back fist. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So we go in low, we've got the engagement, cross grab, and fire the back fist. Okay, now we're going to take into consideration something else. What if I came in, I punched low, he tried to parry, I got the engagement, I trapped, I threw the back fist, and he blocked with his free hand. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lops out that one and punch again. Okay, so I'm here, and I'm here, okay? That's what it looks like on the dummy. Okay? Now, on him once again, he's in the left lead. I punch low. I fire the back fist. He blocks. I lop and hit. looks like on person. So I come in low, I lock, I fire the back fist, I get blocked, so I lock and hit. Okay? So that's how that works. All right, now, what I'm going to do here, we're going to go back to one of our earlier positions, which was here or here. We'll show you what we call a jiao sao or running hand. Okay? The jiao sao curves around and hits with the palm. Okay? If you saw the earlier tape on hand techniques or equipment training, you've already seen this jiao sao in action and you know what it can do. Okay. Now I'm going to engage here. I'm going to pop this and hit here. Okay? So engage, pop, circle, and hit. Okay, watch the circling action. Okay, this is very tight. Nothing wasted. Very economical. Maximum motion economy here. Okay, so we're here. We're here. Alright? So, what this would look like on a live opponent. Okay, he's in a right lead. Alright, let's say I shoot a finger jab and he blocks my finger jab. Okay, I bring the jiao sao in and I hit him right there. Okay, now this can smash, show you from this side. This can smash the jaw or the ear. Okay, so we're going either for the jaw hinge or for the ear. Alright, so I throw the finger jab. He blocks it with his lead hand. While I'm feeling that resistance from his lead hand, that's when I apply the pak sao and the jiao sao simultaneously, because I've got the resistance, so I know I can get in with it. Okay, so that's that movement. So we're here and we're here. Now notice once again, just keep this arm down. Okay, notice once again the economy of motion involved in this. Notice that there's nothing wasted. This is an action that we call hinging. Okay, so I fire the finger jab, he blocks, and I'm right in with the strike. Okay, so once again on the dummy, finger jab, block, strike. Or you can just start here engaged and fire the block and the strike. Notice I brought a leg check into it at the same time I fired the jiao sao or circling palm. Okay, now what if he blocks the jiao sao or the circling palm when it comes in? Okay, then I go into a jet sao, into a lan sao, and a straight punch. Okay, now what is a jet sao? Jet sao is jerking hand. Okay, that's a little quick movement here, applied with the tips of the fingers, used like a hook, just a little quick jerking action. That's what's called a jet sao. So I'm just gonna just jerk down real quick and straight in with a punch. Okay, so we got here, here, here. All right, now let's say this will act as the block. This will act as the opponent's rear hand block. I jet. This is the lan sao, the bar arm. This traps both arms and frees this up to punch. Okay, so now what we have is okay. Now Forrest will join me again. We'll show you what this would look like against a live opponent. Okay, we're here. We're here. He blocks. Okay, I do the jet sao. See the jet sao come in here? Right when the jiao sao contacts, there's the jet. Just a quick, snapping, jerking movement. Then the lan sao or bar arm that traps both arms, and then the punch goes in. All right, so we're here, we're here, we're here. Right in. Boom. Now from here, I can trap and fire an elbow. I can fire an inner elbow smash to crush the throat, catch his head as he comes off of that, elbow him again. Okay, same from the other side. All right, we get the engagement. I do the pak sao and the jiao sao simultaneously. He blocks. The jet sao, lan sao or bar arm, and I hit. Okay, from here, I could also go there, striking to the throat and then coming into the groin. Okay, so here, 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 here. All right, see how that works? Okay, so once again on the dummy, you're here, and you're here. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we're going to add what we call a half beat insertion. So between this point and this point, I'm going to insert another hit. All right, so I'm going to go here, 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 here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Alright? Now, how this would look on a live opponent. Okay, I go here, I go here, I go here. Now see how that slides right up the arm? And then here. Okay? Again. Okay? Okay, from the other side. Okay, see how that works? Alright, so that's something else that you can do on the dummy. Okay, when we come back, we'll show you some more trapping combinations that are possible on the dummy. In this sequence, I'm going to cover what we call energy change trapping, and then we'll go into a few other possibilities. Okay. What if I start to deliver a pak sao and I feel a sudden stiffness, a sudden rigidity in my opponent, and I feel that it would be impossible to continue the punch and to get in with a strike? Okay, this is what we call an energy change. The energy changed up right in the middle of a sequence. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to train for these energy changes. Okay, now, once again, what if I did the pak sao and my opponent tensed up and I felt that I couldn't get in? Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into a lop sao, which would be pulling with the energy that I would be getting. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is go pop, lop. Okay? Pop, lop. Alright? Now, on a partner or an opponent, what this would look like. Alright, and what I'm going to do, I go to pop and I feel a stiffness there. I know that if I try to go on through, I'm going to go off like that and make a fool out of myself. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change it up. Since he wants to push this way, I'll help him. I'll pull him this way. Okay, therefore doubling the impact when the punch hits him. Alright, so from here, I try to go in with a pop. I feel that. Okay, there's where I lop and hit. Okay, so we have pop to lop. Okay, now, while I've got him here, I'm going to show you something else. What if I go to lop and he pulls against that? He's not going to let me lop him. Okay, and I feel that if I try to continue, it's just not going to work. If he wants to go that way, I'll help him by pushing him. So I lock and I pop. Okay, so this is what we call lock to pop energy change. Okay, on the dummy, what this looks like, lock to pop. Okay, I try to lock, I don't get anywhere with that, so I pop and come on in. So we have lock to pop, lock to pop. Okay, or we can come to this outside arm and work it here. Lock to pop. Pop, 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 okay? So once again, I pop sao, I feel I can't get in, I turn it into a lop sao. A lop sao, I feel I can't get in, I turn it to a pop sao. Lop to pop, pop to lop, okay? Just that simple. That's something else that you can work on the Mook Jong. Okay, another movement that I can do here is reacting off of the opponent's incoming punch. I can go with a bong sao or wing arm to deflect the punch, trap, and roll a back fist. So we go here to here, all right? Okay, so we have bong sao, lop sao, kwat choi, or back fist. Okay, with a live opponent who's in a left lead, he fires the punch in toward my face, okay? I go with bong sao, lop sao, kwat choi. Bong sao, lop sao, kwat choi. Bong, lop, kwa. Bong sao, lop sao, kwat choi. Speed it up a little bit. Okay, like that. All right, so bong, lop, kwat choi. Okay, now I can go with a lead hand parry into the lop and right into the kwat choi or back fist. So I parry, parrying inward, Lock, and hit with a back fist. Okay? Against an opponent in a left lead, he fires the punch, a parry, grab, and back fist. Okay? Okay? So that's what that would look like against an opponent. So those are some more of the various movements that you can do involving trapping on the Mook Jong. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about what we call sliding leverage striking. Okay, sliding leverage involves sliding along the arm of an attacking opponent to occupy the center line. In a way, you kind of force occupation of the center, and you take the center line and strike. Okay, in this case, it's a Bill G using sliding leverage against a left lead punch. Okay, so if he punches, I deflect and fire the finger jab to the eyes. Okay, Forrest will join me now. I'll show you what this would look like. Okay, so the punch comes in like so. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to deflect it off and fire the finger jab right into the eyes. So we deflect and we shoot, okay? Like so. Okay? Like so. All right? Now, I could also be dealing with a right lead punch coming in. Okay, so I wouldn't use this one. I would use this one. I could also work that over here on this arm, like that. Okay, so we take the right lead punch coming in. Okay, I deflect and shoot right into the eye, like so. This, once again, is what we call sliding leverage. Another way that I could take care of that same punch would be to use my rear hand to execute the sliding leverage and slide into the eyes. Okay? So, on the dummy, the one that I did with the rear hand would look like this. Okay, so we have here, or here, and then we have here. Okay, now I could have also done this last one coming like this against a left lead punch of an opponent, which would be coming in. And I would just take the center line by applying sliding leverage by using the outside of my arm on a Bill G or finger jab. So Forrest will join me and we'll demonstrate that for you. Left lead, punch comes in with the left hand right to the face, okay? Triangle off, and I shoot the finger jab right onto the center, and I come right into the eyes, okay? Like so. Have to be real careful doing this stuff because you don't want to take your partner's eye. Okay. So, that's an example of sliding leverage using the finger jab. Now, everything that I just did could have been done with a punch also. Also, there's a such thing as a simultaneous parry coming in as you fire the finger jab. Like so. And the Mook Jong is a good thing to train those on. Okay, so I can go from sliding leverage into a trap. In this case, it was a lops out. So I can do it to this side also. Okay, so we have from this side, then we have from this side, like that. Okay, Forrest will join me now. All right, let's say that I'm dealing with a right hand punch coming in. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Okay, so we have here, here. All right, so I did the sliding leverage finger jab with a simultaneous wong pak or cross slap here. Now see, this does part of the work, and this does the rest of the work. So when he comes in, we're here, then we're here. I just slide right down the arm, into the lops out, and I hit. Okay, now, if he's in the left lead, and he's firing with this hand, I go here to here, and then lock and hit here. So, here, here. Okay, like so. All right. Another thing that I could do with this sliding leverage is to train to break the opponent's limb. Okay, so I come in here, then I come in here. All right, I come in here, then I come in here, using the thick part of the forearm to go right into the break. Okay, so against a right leg punch coming in, I go here and then here, right into the elbow joint to break the arm. Okay, against a left leg punch coming in, I go here, then I go here. Okay, so I parry, finger jab, right into the break. Okay, like so. Okay, so there's an example of how sliding leverage can be used in conjunction with the heavy part of the forearm to literally break someone's arm when they come in. Okay, in the next sequence when we come back, I'm going to show you a device that I've invented called a spring-loaded Mook Jong. I think you'll like it. You can do just about anything that we did here with the regular Mook Jong, but you can do a few more things because it's spring-loaded and it gives and it moves more like a live opponent. This is a device that I invented called a spring-loaded Mook Jong. Okay, it is connected in the back by heavy coil springs that allow it to move from side to side, yet return to the standard centerline position. Okay, it also is spring-loaded from the top, so that when a jet sow is applied, it springs. It's also spring-loaded inside the trunk. So when you execute a lop sow, you have resistance springing against you there. Okay, the value of having a Mook Jong like this as opposed to the traditional Mook Jong is the fact that this is movable and it's more realistic like a live opponent. If you fire a pop sow into someone's arm, it can move their whole body to the side. In fact, that's the idea. Move the body to the side so that you can clear the line for the hit. So with this dummy, when you do the pop sow, you move the whole dummy to the side. So it's just like pop sowing a person and clearing the line for the hit. Also, when you work movements involving a simultaneous parry with a sliding leverage strike, such as the long pop with the Bill G coming in, followed immediately by the lop sow with a straight punch that I can pop and punch. Okay, so what we got like that. The resistance is much more realistic. It's more like working with a person. Okay, so going over some of the movements that we applied on the static wooden dummy, I'm going to show you some of the movements that we can do on this one that are the same movements, but the mobility of this dummy brings a whole new meaning to the freedom of expression in what you do. Okay, so you remember we had the low line engagement, and then we changed to the high line engagement, and we did the double pop sow movement. The mobility of this piece of equipment makes it much better because it moves like a person would actually move. Plus, this one having the padding, you can actually punch it. Okay, so I can work on a simultaneous parry and strike movement, striking in to the midsection. So I could go like here, here, and change it up. Okay, so we got like boom, 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 see, coming in here. Okay, so I can actually punch this. All right, a movement that I didn't show you on the Mook Jong was what we call a Fong Sao scoop, which comes around and it moves the person's arm out of the way so that you can fire either a straight punch, a shovel hook, or a side palm into the lower rib or kidney area. Okay, the reason I didn't show it to you on the static Mook Jong is because it's much more effective when you apply it on this Mook Jong, because when you come over the top and scoop, the whole dummy moves to the side and exposes the target, just like if you were working against a person and you did the same movement. Okay, another thing about this one is that when you apply the jet sound movement, the jerking hand, it springs. If I want to do a simultaneous, what we call a lock jut, which is here, and then come in, see, it springs, it gives. It's got a lot of resistance to it though. So, after you work on the static dummy, and after you've worked with the spring-loaded dummy for a while, all these movements become much more realistic to you, and you develop a lot of power. So you take the power that you develop on the static Mook Jong and the spring-loaded Mook Jong, and you apply them to these drills. And when you work with an actual person, there's nothing to it. It's like the old saying, hot knife through butter, just right on through. So this gives you a different kind of resistance, a different feel. So you can work a lot of things on this dummy and get a much better feel for them than you can do on the other dummy, simply because it's movable and it's padded. Okay? Okay? A lot more things that you can do on this dummy. Now the traditional Mook Jong, as used in the Wing Chun system, was taught in a form. Okay? Depending on who your Wing Chun instructor may be, you may learn the form with 108 movements, or you may learn the form with 116 movements. In Jeet Kune Do, we do have certain dummy sets that we work on the dummy, but that's things like I've already shown you on this tape, where you work on coming up, you engage, you deliver the pop sow and you hit. You come up and engage, you lop sow and you hit. You engage low, you go to high, you pop and hit. You engage low, you go to high, you limb lop and hit. You engage low, you go high, you run to the jiao sow, you hit, you jut, you pop and hit, and you scoop and hit, and pop and hit again. Okay? All of these things can be organized into sets that give you what I sometimes like to refer to as training sets. Just some ideas, just a set of ideas, a set of techniques that you can work on to improve your overall skill. Now, one of the most valuable things to you in training with the Mook Jong is to have a good imagination. Because chances are, if you can do it to a live opponent, you can do it on the Mook Jong. Okay? So you just got to have a live, active imagination. And you got to be able to put everything into perspective and make it work within the confines of what you have offered to you with the dummy. Okay, so these few things that I've shown you on the static dummy and on the spring-loaded dummy, it's kind of like Bruce Lee said, don't mistake this to be, what was it he said about the pointing finger? Remember that? Don't look at the finger, look at the moon, okay? Don't look at just what I've shown you, look at all the possibilities. Use your imagination, make it work for you. Okay, so in the next sequence, I'm going to show you what I call the spring arm dummy, which is another unique piece of equipment that I came up with back in 1978. I think you'll like it. There's a lot you can do with it, and I hope you'll enjoy watching me perform on it, and I hope you'll be able to get your hands on one so you can work with it too. So coming up is the spring arm dummy. In this sequence, we're going to work with a spring arm dummy. This is a device that I came up with back in the late 70s, around 1978. And it's a very effective piece of equipment for training the energy and sensitivity and for working on certain trapping moves. I'm just going to show you some of the ways that we can use the spring arm, some of the ways that you can use it to train your techniques. Okay, you can start off by working simple drills such as the Ton Sao to Bong Sao cycle, of Chi Sao. Just go from Tan to Bong. Concentrate on maintaining the pressure, maintaining the contact. Then work the other side. Tan Sao to Bong Sao. Tan Sao to Bong Sao. Working one half of the cycle, the Chi Sao cycle. Okay, now I can go off to the side and I can work the Fook Sao portion of the cycle. Okay, like I said, I have to move to the side a little bit so that I get the pressure. But I can work the Fook Sao part of the cycle also. Okay, so that's one way that you can use it. Okay, one of the first basic drills that I teach with the spring arm is what I call threading the needle. Okay. Okay, see how that works? Feel G, feel G, feel G, feel G. So you're going from like a Bill G to like a Fook Sao type motion. Okay, this trains a certain sensitivity for straight line motion, for deflecting energy, and for your sliding leverage abilities. Okay, another drill that I teach involves pox out, backhand, backhand, pop, backhand, backhand. This teaches you not to waste motion. One of the valuable things about this particular piece of equipment is the fact that it does have quite a bit of spring. And if you mess up during a drill and you get hit with it, it's very painful. So, you tend to learn very quickly how to do everything the right way. Alright, another drill that I like to do on it involves box out as a beat, okay? Lop Sao, back fist. So you have box out, lop Sao, back fist. Okay? Then of course you can work it to the other side. Okay, another drill you can do is Bong Sao, lop Sao, back fist. Training closeness into the motion. Notice when I do this very slow for you that nothing is wasted. Everything involves maximum motion economy. No wasted motion. Okay, so you're training that maximum motion economy in there. Okay. There are a lot of other drills that we can do on this. One of them being the Pak Sao drill. Engage, Pak and hit. Treating this joint right here where the end of the arm joins the spring as the elbow. Okay, I can come in from this side and Pak out. Okay, that's another drill that you can do. on the spring arm. Okay, Wong Pak with a sliding leverage Bill G. Okay, you learn to develop a certain smoothness in this movement. Notice that everything is very economical. There's no looseness to it. Okay, I can go from a Wong Pak sliding leverage Bill G to a Bill G to a lop and hit. Okay, that's another drill that we work on the spring arm. Very effective drill, nice drill. Okay, I can work jet sow and springing right into a Bill G. So I train what we call springing energy. Okay, now you got to be real careful here. You got to make sure that you apply the proper energy, because if you don't, this can very easily get away from you and whack your elbow. Okay, I've seen a lot of people try that jet sow, go for the finger jab and lose it and get whacked right in the funny bone. Not pleasant by any means. Okay, now another thing I can do a sliding leverage strike, then I can do the Bong south scoop, and I can punch. So it's here, here. Okay, that's another drill. Sliding leverage finger jab, Bong south scoop, and punch. Okay, there's another drill for you with the spring arm. Okay, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. One of my favorite things is just free flow, which is where you just start flowing. You don't really know where you're going to go. You have really no preset plan, no preset pattern. It's not like a form. You just engage the arm and you start to flow, and whatever happens, happens. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit now and let you see what that looks like. Notice that I don't even look at it. Notice that I just kind of look away and just kind of flow. That's a good way to do this when you're working with this particular piece of equipment, because then you know you're depending on nothing but the sensitivity. You're going by what you feel, not what you see. You just have to make it work like that. Okay, now, you probably noticed in that free flow, you saw a little bit of every drill that I showed you, and probably even more, okay? That's the idea. The free flow leads to the creation of new things. And in Jun Fan Jeet Kune Do, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Some people might say, well, isn't that the concepts approach? No, that's not the concepts approach. Not the way that it's taught by me anyway. Because the way we look at it in the USJKDA, if you can take the techniques and come up with more ways to use the techniques, come up with more ways to train the techniques, how can anyone ever say that you are stagnating or that you're turning into what Bruce Lee referred to as the classical mess? No way. There's no end to what you can do with these techniques. When we come back, I'm going to show you about the slip and hit dummy, and you'll learn about that particular piece of equipment and what you can do with that. In this sequence, I'll be demonstrating another device that I came up with that we refer to as the slip and hit dummy. Okay, this trains you to slip either to the inside or to the outside while delivering a simultaneous strike, and delivering the strike with some power. Okay, the upper and lower bags are filled with sand here. Okay, so this is a very hard impact surface. So this is real good for knuckle conditioning, real good for conditioning the hands, because when you hit these bags, it's almost like hitting a solid wall. Okay, just like a wall, because they're packed with sand. All right, this represents an incoming blow, whether it's a straight punch, a finger jab, whatever. It's just an incoming attack that you're going to slip and simultaneously strike. Okay, now, I'll show you some of the basic stuff that we do here. All right, I can work from a square position, or I can work from the on guard position, either right lead or left lead. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to work from the square position, and I'm just going to move from side to side. So this develops your lateral mobility also. Okay, now the idea is to slip, okay, like so, and hit simultaneously as you slip. Okay, notice I work a light long pop or cross slap cover as I deliver the strikes to the wall bags. Okay, now if I'm striking high, I use chung choi or vertical fist straight punch. My impact surface is going to be the bottom three knuckles. And if you can see this, when I impact with the bag, what you'll see there is the imprint of the bottom three knuckles. Then I have to reshuffle the sand, get a good flat surface again. Now watch this. Okay, see, that's where the bottom three knuckles impacted on the pad. Okay, now up here we're using the chung choi or vertical fist. Okay, down here we can either drop our body as if doing kind of like a bob and weave movement. So you can also practice bob and weave on this piece of equipment. And while we're down here, we can shoot sort of a vertical fist motion while we're down low like this, okay? Or we can maintain our upright position and fire a ping choi or horizontal fist into the lower bag, like so. Okay, so this would be the incoming attack. This would be representing a strike to the face. This would be representing a strike to the rib solar plexus region. Okay, so I think you can see how effective this particular piece of equipment is. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go into what we call free flow. I'm just going to fire a few things in here. Before I do that, however, I want to show you this. You can bring a jiao sao or a circling palm strike, what we commonly refer to as a running hand palm, in either low or high as you slip. So that's another option open to you. You can straight punch, or you can take the curved line with the jiao sao. Either way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just free flow. I'm going to kind of break up the rhythm occasionally, kind of break up the timing, just move around. Just have some fun with it, okay? It's like I tell my students all the time, if you can't have some fun with drills, they're not worth doing because you get bored. You need to have some fun with it. Just enjoy it. Get into it. Have some fun. Make it work for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start off just working. Okay, I think you can kind of get the idea of what we do with this. It's a good piece of equipment. It's a lot of fun. You can also detach the arm and practice just your low strike or just your high strike on the bag, or you can leave the arm there and just lightly roll off of it as you strike high, sort of like a sliding leverage strike. Like that. Okay, so that's the slip and hit dummy. I hope you've enjoyed Volume 16 of Junfan Jeet Kune Do Complete Mook Jong training. I look forward to seeing you and working with you again in a future volume. If you haven't obtained all of the volumes that were done previous to this particular volume, you need to get your hands on them, because the series is designed to work in the order that the tapes were put out. You learn the techniques, you learn how to put them together, and then the end result is being a total fighter. You've got everything and it's ready to go to work for you. Okay, other tapes that are available from my organization, we have the seminar series, which is 10 volumes covering material from various seminars that I've taught all over the country. Other methods that will be available are, or rather other tapes, other series that will be available are the Advanced Trapping Hand series. We'll be doing a Junfan Jeet Kune Do training method series. We'll be doing a USJKDA instructors training series. And we'll also be doing a series called the Street Combat series. Other tapes that are available outside of the normal series are Real Junfan Jeet Kune Do and a tape called Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do Essential Self-Defense. Both of them are very good tapes, and they are done by myself, and they have various methods of training, various techniques of what we term USJKDA Junfan Jeet Kune Do. If you're not currently a member of the USJKDA and you would like to be a member, you may join by writing to me, Sifu Lamar M. Davis II, Executive Director, USJKDA, 267 West Valley Avenue, Suite number 223, Birmingham, Alabama, zip code 35209. Watch for my videotapes from CSI Productions. They will be carrying all of my tapes, and they will also be selling my Mook Jongs and my spring arms. So get in touch with them and find out what they have to offer. They have many other excellent tapes, and I think you would enjoy some of the other tapes that they've got to offer too. Okay, I've enjoyed working with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon in another tape.